gentlemen, welcome to Birmingham AI's Marketing Breakout. My mic just, what is this? All right, we're just going to use our big boy voices.
Hey everybody! Scott's going to start us off. And apparently the mic isn't working, so we need you to be quiet and listen. Thank you.
That's okay. That's why they make me do this part of the show, because they know I talk so loud that there's no need for a microphone. And I could just be super loud. In fact, I'm going to look at Austin the whole time. And if at any point he looks confused at me, I know the microphone is not going in and out. See, I actually wore a suit for this because of worried about lavalier microphones. And only no one's supposed to know that but you. This is so unfair. This is so unfair. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the show. My name is Scott. I have been in sales and marketing for about a decade. And I want to welcome all of you to the Birmingham AI Marketing Breakout. This is a curse. This is something that's funny right now. Anyway, so let's get to the fun part. Where are my B2C marketers at? Where's all the good B2C people? Where are the real champions, the B2B marketers? Yeah, y'all are the real silent majority. I'm so proud of you. Anyway, whose first time is it to a Birmingham AI marketing event? Raise your hand for me. Wow, this is a good crowd. That's intimidating. Now I really have to try. Anyway, so this is Birmingham AI. Like I said, I'm Scott. Let me see if we can get anything to work today on our tech side of the stack. So, Birmingham AI, our mission is to accelerate AI adoption in Birmingham for all. We want AI to be a net job creator for Birmingham and for Alabama, to cement ourselves as the place for AI in the Southeast, okay? We are driving to become from a meetup to a movement, all right? Look around this room. Every single person in here has made the choice to be here today. You're not sitting in your chair. You're not scrolling through LinkedIn, pretending that's career development, even though I probably hit half of you up to be here on LinkedIn. So, hey, I am not ashamed of who I am, all right? So, and that is the choice that matters. That's working on the goal. Back before my marketing life, when I was a competitive powerlifter, I hit a barrier that I couldn't get past. I could not pull a 500-pound deadlift to save my life. Now, for anybody in the room that knows, the bar is 45 pounds. The weights are 45 pounds. You add them all up, you get to 495 even. It's nice and easy. And I could not pull it off the floor. I lost sleep over this, as silly as that sounds. But I went in with my coach one day, and he said, we're going to pull 500. I go, no, we're not, bro. We can't pull 495. So he goes, go get warmed up, and I'll set up the bar. I turned around, and he's got all the 45s. He's got the bar, and he's got a 10 on each side, too. I went, Greg, that is not 495. That's not 500. That is 525, Greg. He goes, I don't care what you think it is. Your goal is not to deadlift 495. Your goal is to be as good as you can. So quit worried about this wall in front of you and hit your goal. I ripped that thing so hard. Anyway, this is what we're working on, not the goal, not the barrier, the goal, okay? I keep hearing everybody say, I'm behind on AI. I don't know where to start. We're not doing that anymore. We're here. We're together. A lot of people are here for the first time. That just shows you that this is the room that wants to grow together. This is what I know. The people that are going to struggle with this, okay, that are going to struggle with AI, they're not the ones that don't have the answers today. They're the ones who aren't looking. They're the ones who think exactly what happened 6 months ago is going to keep working, okay? They think that they can just sit in the office, watch YouTube videos at 2x speed, they're going to figure it out, okay? This is where we learn how to use that knowledge together, okay? That's the dividing line that we're all overcoming. So, back to the marketing. This is our mission to you. This is our statement to you, that we exist because marketers shouldn't have to navigate this alone. All right? We are all in this struggle together. We are all growing together. This space exists because growth doesn't happen in isolation, okay? It happens in rooms like this where people stand up and say, I tried it and it didn't work. And the person sitting next to you will lean over and say, it didn't work for me either, but this is what I found that worked. And that's how we put the pieces together, okay? We're not here to compete. We are here to be seen. We are here to grow. We are here to be together, all right? So for the next hour, I'm asking you to just be present, okay? Don't worry about what your inbox is. I know your phone's going off. Mine has gone off 3 times in my pocket while I've been standing here, okay? But the people that are going to win in this industry are hungry. They're people just like you. They're the people sitting on either side of you, sitting on the other side of this room. It's not me. I just make a lot of noise. Okay? So, let's get started, shall we? Here's what we're going to run over today. First thing, I want to touch on AI and shopping a little bit because it's been a big deal the last couple of weeks, especially with Black Friday. Then we're going to hit on this state of AI and marketing survey for Birmingham. This is the first industry survey that we are trying. Okay? And then the wonderful Miss Laura Flowers is going to explain everything there is to ever know about AEO definitively. Scott, don't say definitively. And then we're going to do some Q&A. Then we're going to have fun. Okay? So, a little bit of news coming up. Now, I'm trying this for the first time. Let's see if, it worked. Oh, that's so cute. So look, AI shopping. Okay, I know we talked a little bit about this last time. All right, but I really wanted to touch on it again because it has come, I feel like so far, even since the end of October, the last time we were together. So I've got two videos right here playing simultaneously. I wanted to see these new shopping features that had been announced for both Perplexity and ChatGPT, side to side, to see which one kind of did a better job. So I actually broke my weightlifting belt, unrelated to my previous story, and I needed a new one. I knew exactly what I wanted, but it's because I am an expert when it comes to those things. I wanted to see what would happen if just a random person typed that prompt for this little bit of a niche product into both of these platforms to see what they would get. Now, the Perplexity one, or the one on the left, or right, haha, I was not a theater kid, I was a marching band. So I just Googled, I need a powerlifting belt with a lever release because the pull belts freak me out and I'm gonna suffocate, all right? So that's all I typed in, and then under a minute, it pulled up all these results for me. It even has a shopping feature on the side, which looks very similar to most e-com platforms. All right, and then when we get to the bottom, it actually gives you information, So somebody just coming in randomly who may not understand this product, it gives you information about the product. The ChatGPT one's a little bit different because it has its own dedicated, essentially deep research agent that goes out and researches the product you're looking for. So I typed it in, and when it flips back over to the beginning of the video, it asked me follow-up questions. How wide did I want the belt? What color did I want? Did I actually want a lever? Did I want leather? It asked me follow-up questions about the product. A lot of people, the regular layperson may not know, but I knew that I'm very picky. So, if you couldn't tell, I think everything about me. So, see, and then again, it also gave you more information about it. See, it gave you a whole graph, gave me budget items. Anyway, this is not a comparative as to which one's better. This is an example of how far we've come. Can you imagine sitting in your office 2 years ago and thinking, there's no way they're going to turn it into an e-com platform? This is an e-com platform? Then I'm going into mechanical engineering because I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, Black Friday, AI drove an estimated $14.2 billion globally from deep research agents, from Rufus on Amazon, all the other different agents that we have out there. In the US alone, those agentic platforms totaled $3 billion just from those. According to Adobe Analytics, AI-driven traffic rose to over 800% from last year. A lot of that goes in that everything has a platform now. So, shoppers who used AI assistants were also 38% more likely to make purchases and stayed on page 10% longer when they got essentially referred to by a robot. Rather than getting a person to say, you should go to this site to find the weightlifting belt you want, this told me where I needed to go to find the weightlifting belt that I wanted. Some of these I would have picked. The ends are ones I would have picked. We can talk about that later. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to touch on real quick is the ads are coming. Okay, this was actually data mined from the Android app update for ChatGPT. The ad platform is already being built. It's probably almost done. Had it not been for the big code red that OpenAI had to issue this week, because Google is creaming them, this actually may have already been out. It would have already had ads that we could have already bought to put placement on here. Because if you're an agency in this room, I'm sure a client has asked you, how do I get on ChatGPT? How can I get my product to the top of ChatGPT? Or insert LLM. How many agency people do we have in here? Just raise your hands. Whether you own it or you're in it. So, last little piece right here. This is what I touched on earlier. We're going to have this again at the end. We're going to have, it's going to come back around through emails, posts, everything. This is our State of AI in Birmingham Marketing Survey. This is our first industry benchmark survey that we are trying for Birmingham AI to get a feel as to how penetrated AI is into the marketing environment in Birmingham, how we can help you overcome the barriers, how we can help you overcome any kind of fear, trepidation, and any training we can help provide. Okay? This is going to be our measurement for 2026 for this group as to how we can help use AI and how we can help all of us grow together, like I stood up here and pedanted about for a while. Okay? We're also going to have an opportunity at the end, if you have any use cases in your company that you would like to present, or your boss would like you to present, in front of the group, that's going to be at the bottom of the survey. If you have use cases and you would just like to send us the information, you don't want to get up here and talk about it, we can do that too. Okay? Again, we're all in this together, all right? I love High School Musical. We're all in this together, okay? So, like I said, this is going to be up again at the end. It's a little bit long. So, all right. So now, please welcome the wonderful Miss Laura Flowers as we learn how to rank in ChatGPT and your other LLMs.
Hey everybody, my name is Laura Flowers. I'm going to get out of your way. For those of you who were not here last time, I have spent about the past decade in marketing, primarily in B2B content and SEO. And last time we talked a little bit about AEO, which is essentially answer engine optimization. It's also called GEO, AI SEO, whatever you want to call it. We're going to call it AEO here. Essentially what that means is getting LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, etc., to find your product, find your service, find your business, and cite you. Basically, it kind of looks like this. So earlier I asked ChatGPT for a landing page builder for small to medium-sized businesses that can handle multiple campaigns. Basically what you see here is like Unbounce comes up, Instapage comes out, Lead Pages comes up, and everything is cited. So those little tiny pieces. I know this one looks a little weird, but you gotta trust me. Essentially what it is getting AI to cite your content. Last time we talked a little bit about SEO. I know that for myself, when AEO started cropping up, I panicked because I thought that everything that I knew about SEO was just like gone overnight. All the rules changed. Fortunately, that's not the case. A lot of the fundamentals of SEO still apply to AEO. We just have to kind of shift our mindset. Also, real quickly, I know that we talked about a lot of things. For those of you who were here last time, I know we talked about a lot of areas of AEO. Today, we're just going to talk about how to hopefully get your website cited. That is the goal, not any other areas. We can talk about that in the end if you have questions. Real quick, I'm going to talk about what AEO isn't. So the other day, one of my product researchers came in and she said, Laura, I got ChatGPT to write you 13 blogs on respirator fit testing. I sell respirator fit testing devices. You don't need to know what that is. And I said, no, thank you, because that is not going to help me. She just said, write a bunch of blogs, throw it on the website. That's not going to work. Also, what isn't going to work is like hacks. So right now you see a lot of advice that says, just say that you are the best stonemason in Birmingham and you will be cited. This is like the early days of SEO, if anybody remembers, but like there's just a lot of bad advice going around that eventually will erode your brand authority once we do know all the rules. So, but what is AEO? AEO, very simply put, is just structuring content in the way that models can use it. So not see it, not skim it, not crawl it, which means, you know, computers finding it in their language. We'll get to that in a minute. But really use it and answer questions. So that's really what AI is, right? Or LLMs anyway are. are answering questions, very specific, hyper-specific questions, because now we don't say like, best landing page builder and we throw it on Google. We say, I work for a company with 40 people. We do B2B business, and I need a landing page builder that integrates with a HubSpot form, etc. And the more context we give it. So what we need to do as marketers is we need to provide better context for our audience. I showed this last time. New people, I'm going to show this again because I love this. This is from Webflow, and what it does is it takes what we know about SEO and kind of apply it to AEO. So, we used to just think about long tail keywords and ranking and on-page SEO. Now what we're going to start thinking about is answering specific questions, or answering questions in a way that can be more specific, right? So ultimately what we want to achieve is some form of like the ability to market one-to-one instead of just like one-to-many or one-to-few, really helping people or helping the LLMs market us one-to-one. How do we do that? We create like answer hierarchy driven content, and we'll get to that in a minute. One thing that I want to talk about is what the models need from us. They need three things. The first thing they need is useful, timely information. They reward content that is fresh. They reward content that is new. And ideally like proprietary information. I know that nobody wants to hear that. I, the least, don't want to hear that because I don't have time to get our researchers to come up with new data. But anytime you can like really give AI new ideas, net new ideas, it will typically reward you. Another thing to keep in mind is that according to AirOps, new things get cited more frequently. So you want to be taking your top pages, the pages that people are finding and are really converting on, and refreshing those quarterly. We'll get to how you can do that with like on-page and off-page strategies, but AI rewards new. The other thing you need to repeat in your head as you are thinking about the models is that AI rewards repeatable structure. What do I mean by that? I mean a lot of things. I mean on-site, like on-page structure. So for us marketers, that's like headings, subheadings, etc. Like really like helping the AI know what your website is saying and use it. But it's also talking about like off-page things like your sitemap. You need a good-looking sitemap. If you don't know what a sitemap is, that is okay. Go talk to your agency, and they will help you create a sitemap. Get ChatGPT to tell you what a sitemap is, and you can create one. Basically what it is, though, is a table of contents for the internet to read your site, crawlers to see what your website structure is. So the nicer looking and like, parent-child associations, it will appreciate repeatable structure. Speaking of structure, the last thing, and for those of you last time, I told you I hate this, but models need consistent schema. I don't have time to explain all of schema to you, but if you want to read about it, this QR code has a good explainer from Webflow. Essentially what schema is, it is a way to tell the LLMs and search engines what your page is doing and what it is for and its purpose. It can be a pain, honestly, and it can be intimidating if you're not a technical person. I'm not a technical person. I just showed up one day to work in marketing, and now I'm here. I'm kind of panicking. But while schema is non-negotiable now and you kind of have to do it, there are ways to make it easier. Number one, if you have an agency, just get them to do it. That's their problem now, and it's not yours. Yeah, you're welcome. If it is your problem and you use a WordPress-based site, Yoast is your friend for a nominal fee of like, I don't know, $100 a year or something. It'll help you do it. Or if you don't have any of that, I will give you something later to do it for you, because I hate doing it myself. So now that we know, what the models need, what do the models know about us so far? And the first step you need to take when you are dipping your toes into AEO is to run an audit. For anyone who was here last time, I gave out a quick start guide to AEO that basically gave this advice. So go to AI and see what it knows about your business, your specific business. Note any gaps in knowledge, note what doesn't appear. Also see what it knows about your competitors. That's a good one. But anything that it gets wrong, anything that it gets right. And then the next thing you want to do, once you have a good list of what it knows and anything that you're like, oh my God, why is it saying that? That doesn't make any sense. Then ask questions that your customer would ask. Not questions that you want your customer to ask, questions that your customers are currently asking. And see what it says. So really role play as your customer. Did anyone happen to do this last time? It's okay if you didn't. Scott, did it work? Yeah. Anything? Robert? Yeah. Yeah. It is disappointing. That it's also disappointing. What you can do if you really want to get like too deep in the weeds, you can use Perplexity to use deep research and create like this content matrix. If you want like the prompt that I used, I can share it to you later. It is mind numbing. But it will tell you where any bad information is coming from. And sometimes it is coming from inside the house. So we had to do some work. So now that we have done that, we have, our roadmap, our content roadmap for the year of here's what I need to write about. This is what matters. How do I structure the content? There are many ways to structure your content, but a quick win that we are seeing across the board is one thing that a lot of places have in common is that they have FAQs. I pulled Fleetio's. I used to work at Fleetio and I just love it so much. But they do a really good job with their FAQs. Webflow does a good job, many people. But it makes sense if you think about it, right? Because people are going to LLMs to ask questions, to get advice. So it makes sense to structure your content in a way that is a question and an answer. And we all probably used to do this with like long form blogs. I know Fleetio did it. I wrote 1,000 blogs on fleet management for a couple of years, but this is like quicker to the point, right? And we add that with schema and the LLMs can be like, oh, okay, got it. So the way that we structure our answers, we're going to call them answer blocks. That's what kind of keeps coming up. And that is a high level summary. So like 1 to 3 sentences of just your answer. And then if you need to provide further context, like add a context layer of why it matters or when it applies. And then if you need to go even deeper, then add decision logic of like if X, then Y, or when A, try B. And these little clusters tend to help. So we did this the other day. We at my company OHD, we have a new instrument that's got a weird feature that no one understands. Our sales team doesn't understand it fully. So I went to our product guy and I said, hey, answer these 5-10 questions and get back to me. He gave me those questions and then I put it into what I'm about to show you, which is a custom GPT for AEO assistance, and it created answer blocks for me. So this is what you can use. If you're not familiar with custom GPTs, basically what they are is, and you can create one yourself You can create as many as you want. You can go in ChatGPT and tell it to to follow these particular rules, these particular configurations. So what we did here was really born out of a need of saying, I don't have time to create answer blocks. You probably don't have time either. And I don't have time to audit things. I don't have time to think about query fan out. I have been using one tool from AirOps that is free and I do recommend. But ChatGPT and Claude have been really good for me about thinking about query fan out. And what I mean by query fan out is you ask a question, then you ask a next question, anticipating what the next question the person is going to ask and answer those. That way, you're hitting them from all sides. So you're not just answering like, what is tool management software, or is tool management software right for me? You're answering like, is tool management software, does it work with telematics? So, you're answering a lot of different questions. So it's been really useful to me, and I hope it is useful to you. Also, if you find anything weird in it and you're like, I wish that it did this, then reach out to me on LinkedIn and we can make it do those things. Now is a good time for questions. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
There was like a moment about 6 months ago when everybody thought that the LLMs.txt file was going to be. It looks like that is no longer going to be a thing. Webflow is even promoting it a little bit. Can you explain what that was and what happened? It seems like there's going to be a lot of hype moments with this category.
There are going to be a lot of hype moments. I actually think that this is Robert Hill, everybody, and he's a great friend of mine, and also I'm a client of his. But you might be able to better explain those LLMs TXT files. But basically, it was kind of like a sitemap, but for LLMs specifically, and people were like all in on them. So like if you were here last time, we talked kind of about how people were high on Reddit for a bit because ChatGPT was citing Reddit 11% of the time. And then suddenly ChatGPT started citing it 2% of the time. And everybody who went all in on Reddit was like, oh no, what now? And I think that's going to keep happening. We are going to keep finding new ways to do this. Everything that I am telling you today is from people who are a lot smarter than me, people I trust a lot. However, there's a solid chance that some of this could change. I don't think most of this will change because most of this is founded in SEO. The fundamentals are always going to apply, but there may be some things that are different, like, oh, okay, we're not going to, rank certain citations. I don't know. There's a lot. Do you want to explain the TXT files any, or did I do an okay-ish job?
I think that like Laura was saying, the sitemap of your website and organizing the data so that a web crawler like Google's web crawler or ChatGPT's web crawler or whatever it's being crawl your website, people were thinking, oh, well, if you just make a version of your website that's only text, the crawler can crawl it really fast. So just spend all your time making this big text file that represents all of your website, and ChatGPT will probably like it. But it turns out that ChatGPT did not like it, and none of the other LLMs did either, and we think it's probably because they're going to want to control that for their own data.
I think that makes sense, and I think also, like, when you think about it, schema already exists, and that's already something that some people have been doing for a long time. I'm not going to say most people. Like, I've been bad about it. I just started doing schema. Did I know better? Yes, but I didn't do better because it sucks. All right, so this can do a lot of different things. It can help you create answer blocks. We're going to just kind of try something real quick. Does anyone have like a frequently asked question for their business that they are willing to share? Please. Yes.
So, so we fabricate and install natural stuff. People always ask me, how do I seal my content?
That's a great question. Okay. Is there anything that you really like want to make sure that it says or does not say? Like, is there any like really bad advice out there?
Yes, there's tons of bad advice.
Yeah.
There's like very little good advice and a ton of bad advice.
That's
why I picked this question.
That makes sense. What's like the best advice in like a couple of words, like 2 sentences?
So, best advice is
Ask your fabricator.
Don't look online. Don't listen to designers and I hope they're not here. Don't listen to people who think they know. Listen to people who are actually making your stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And then beyond that, you need to understand just a little bit of understanding of what you bought.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sealer that's paired with what you bought.
Love that. Did you get all that, my friend?
I know how to seal my spell account.
Finally, Austin. Yes, I don't know. This is amazing.
Man plus.
Okay, so basically what we're doing here is this is not perfect. It's still being tweaked. It is going to get you 80% of the way there. But this is pretty long, right? It gave me more than what I wanted, even after I told it to start being more concise. But it gives some information, and what it's doing is it's giving you a high-level summary that you could just take and you don't really need the rest. That's fine. But if you do need a little more context, if you do need reasoning, you can add it. Now, you know that there's a lot of bad advice out there. You might be seeing bad advice on this screen right now. And that is where the work comes in. This is not going to do things for you. It is going to be a partner to you. So you have to say like, hey, this is the answer. This is what I never want you to say about it. And then go from there. And you can kind of go back and forth. Another thing that it can do is if you have a handful of answer blocks, you can say, hey, can you create some schema markup for me? And it does it well, honestly. So that, yeah, for an FAQ page, you could also do a how-to page. I think like your easiest wins right now are going to be FAQ pages and how-to pages, or just adding FAQ to your existing products and solutions pages just at the bottom. That is going to be a big win. Okay, this is what schema mostly looks like. It doesn't have a lot of information in there. If you give it information, it will add information, but this gets you where you need to go. It also helps you with query fan out, so thinking about new questions to ask and helping you create your content roadmap for LLMs specifically. Yeah, I'd love for you guys to try it if you like, if you find it useful. Let me know. Yes.
So this is ChatGPT's AEO.
This is ChatGPT's Laura Flowers AEO assistant. I helped. I configured this in ChatGPT. You can go do it. You can create a custom GPT yourself.
That's, I guess, my question, because I didn't know. I thought this was chat. So you did it. That's great. You did a good job, by the way.
It's ChatGPT's knowledge. I'm just telling it, like, what really I'm doing is I'm giving it baseline rules. I'm telling it, this is what I want you to do. This is what you are. You are an AEO assistant. You help people structure content for AEO. So this includes not just, this includes schema markup. This includes query fan out. What I have done here is prompt it to ask you leading questions if you need a little nudge, if you need some help, if you don't feel super comfortable. So I think that this can help you get there. But yes, you can create your own GPT anytime you want to. Molly. Hi. Yeah.
A lot of things is really great, but when I started incorporating schema a couple of days ago for job listings, found that I needed to use a different plugin. So I've been using that to inject schema just for that.
Yeah. Which one are you using?
I can't remember the name of it. Just
Add it, put it in Circle. Everybody should join us on Circle, which is like Discord, but better.
I'll do that.
Yes, that would be
We'll
great.
talk more about it here in a minute.
That's a good point. Keep going.
Okay, but I haven't looked back at Yoast recently to see if they've been making changes to kind of improve what schema is offered, because when I looked at it, it was pretty limited.
It is.
So how do you incorporate schema like this?
It is pretty limited. And what I have done is added it. Like I work with a website team that has helped like me add a schema section, and your agency should be able to help you do that too. But basically, it's just adding it in the header where it's supposed to go. But there is a section for it. So then I also go into Yoast and do that. But I do, admittedly, I've worked with Kinetic to help us add something that is specific to schema. And I think most agencies will be able to do that for you. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it would probably be easy for them and pretty cheap. Anyone? Yes. No, please.
What I gather what you've done, you created a beautiful, extensive, mind-numbing prompt that you've been put it into the chat.
Yeah.
But rather than you said, well, you can do this within. So couldn't we just copy and paste your prompt to Perplexity or to Grok or something like that?
Yeah.
Since it's not something common, it's not something they have inherent in their system. It's something you created that we can use their system for.
That's a fair point, and I think the answer is yes. I would just need to give you the prompt. But this eliminates you having to give any context, to set any context. When you go into a custom GPT, it already has some working knowledge of your goal, if that makes sense. But yeah, for like I was saying earlier, like I did do some like mind-numbing, like content auditing to figure out some issues we were having. Yes, Daniel.
One other suggestion with any of these like custom GPTs, things like that, if you want to tote it from, let's say, ChatGPT to Gemini and make a gem or something like that, ask it, hey, give me a summary of how you work, how you function, and then copy and paste it over. That I've been doing that from one of my GPTs when I try to explain how it works to people. I'll just say, hey, give me a summary of this real quick, and I'll copy and paste it into Circle or Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever.
That makes much more sense. Do that. Much easier. I mean, I'll be happy to give you any prompts that I have, but that would help you. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm going to just talk one more second, and then I'm going to go away. Oh, yes. Hey.
So I just have a question, and it's something that a friend of mine has started talking about back and forth on LinkedIn, because he was asking about, SEO and how it's been impacted for different agencies.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, is kind of thinking through AEO is AEO us? I mean, obviously it's something that's been created by AI. Is us optimizing it? And this is me trying to be the healthy skeptic. Is us optimizing it following a paradigm that Google created with SEO? Whereas AI, they don't read the web like Google does. They ignore a lot of the conventions and kind of the constructs that Google uses to guide browsers on the web. And they have their own agendas. And those agendas are probably, more than a little bit biased by the people who are using them. So first of all, I have to say, this is an awesome presentation, and this is amazing what you put together, because this is really helpful. And I think it's, I feel like AEO, the summaries are replacing a lot of the top of the funnel.
Yeah.
For people going to the web. And they're still, obviously, when they're actually looking at solutions, they need to be able to get down. That's where you start to see people need to get to websites that aren't necessarily, they may be down in the search, or they may be part of this. But I just kind of thinking, like, what are we trying to do with structuring it for AI so it gets us, I don't know how many people, and so, I was trying to figure it out, how many people go from the AI summary to somebody's website. I can, I don't know if you've got stats. I'd love to hear it, because I know I don't do it very much, and I'm probably not a good test case. So
I would say quite a few. I would echo Robert. However, you're right. Like, there has been we've seen it across the board, and I'm sure some of y'all have seen it if you're in GA4. There's been a decoupling of clicks and impressions. Now that we have zero search clicks, you find what you want and then buy. So I have thought and worried myself, like, is my website no longer top of funnel? Is it middle of funnel? I don't know. I think that you're correct. And I think that, like, I mean, for me, and this is probably not the best advice, but like, I'm playing the game. I think we're all kind of playing the game, and the game seems to be like kind of similar to how SEO was. Same thing with AEO. But I think that we'll have more. I don't know if it will get better or or worse. Yes.
Big question. I don't search anymore. I simply go to AI tools first to get the answers. I don't know how long it has been since I actually did a Google search. I can't remember. And the other thing, even for from a shopping perspective, a good example for the Black Friday stuff, I did not search anything. I set up a task in chat and said, hey, I'm looking for these items. Whenever they hit below this price point, let me know. And it did that. And that's when I purchased. I didn't even go shop anywhere. It did all the shopping for me.
One last thing, just some anecdotal data. I follow Webflow. Webflow has really great information about AEO, as does AirOps if you're just trying to like glean a lot of information at once. But Webflow has seen like a 6x conversion rate from LLM specifically. So people are, seeing it and converting. They are going to the site. But to answer your question, like, yeah, I mean, we're going to see a lot of like zero click searches forever, probably. I don't know. Yes.
Thing,
Yeah.
just randomly, like optimization is the name of the game, and we should all be doing those things and this, that, and the other. But don't forget your fundamentals. If your clients are asking a question, make sure you're the best answer for that question. Like, if you are the best answer for that question, you are generating content, you're gonna funnel to the top. And if you don't, you look and see how you're not funneling to the top and you fix it. That's more where I feel we need to go with a lot of the optimization. But I feel like, we talk about the optimization and everything like that, gets lost. Just be the best answer. Now that's a lot easier said than done, but
I think for getting there, when you are organizing assuming you are organizing your content well, and you are an authority in your business, or you're becoming an authority in your business, then like this is not going to replace bad content. You still have to have good content. But the interesting thing I think about AEO versus SEO is we're no longer trying to like rank and jump folks, on the first page of Google. What we're really trying to focus on is buyer intent. So you're thinking about questions that your customer is asking, and you are the best person to answer those questions. So you're providing good information. You just need to organize it better. Robert.
What you said about the LLMs using the different crawlers is not correct. That for training, yes, but for crawling the web, they use the crawler. So, and Gemini. So for an active web search, when you're searching for a product or service, it's going to use a crawler that's more similar. That therefore, that's why this matters with the schema.
What about complexity? That was where I got.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. But that's
All right. One more thing, and then I'm going to give it back to Scott. Just like what you can do. I know that nobody has time. We don't have time. But what you can do monthly, just like little things that you can do monthly to improve or start with AEO, is just pick 3 high intent questions and answer them. Answer them well. Answer them in a way that AI likes, like we talked about. and add those to your site. Put them on a product page, wherever it makes sense. If you can, add some schema, and then track your progress. There are tools to track progress. They're pretty new. Some are very expensive, like Scrunch. Unless you have a lot of money, I wouldn't use it. But Profound is really great, and it's not that expensive. But it does cost money. But then also just do qualitative research. Check it out periodically. Yes. Profound. Scrunch and Profound. Yes. Okay. And now I am done. Thank you so much.
So I think we've all spent a lot of time today, really deep in the weeds on all of this. So I just want to go ahead and introduce the three of us again. The wonderful Mr. Daniel Walters running our AV, the wonderful Miss Laura Flowers dropping the content, and me just up here running my big fat mouth. So if you want to connect with us, these are our LinkedIns. I think one of those, any business card for somebody. We'll be happy to get back in touch with you, help with anything that we can, point you in the right direction. I also want to point out two more people in the back. We've got the wonderful Mr. William Glass, the director of Birmingham AI. And the big boss, Mr. Austin Sitzman, everyone. So, touching back on these again, we've got our QR code right here for our State of AI in Birmingham Marketing. Our industry report, you can fill that out. Again, we're going to be sending this out multiple times over the next 3 months. And if you fill it out, you'll get access before anybody else does. We will premiere the results at our March marketing meetup that we do not have a date for yet. We have on the top right there our 2026 kickoff event at Red Mountain Theater, and OpenAI is going to be there. We're going to have experiences for all of our different breakouts. It's actually afterward, not during the day. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then we have a little feedback on whether you liked the content today, whether you didn't like it today, whether you didn't like me. We had to take that one off the survey from last time. That was rough. It hurt my feelings. Although I have a 3-year-old daughter, so my feelings are always hurt.
And we do really look at this survey stuff and take it seriously. So please take a minute. It's 2 questions, maybe 3? 2 questions. 1 minute at your time. Please take. Yeah.
Okay, so coming up for us, we do not have a general meetup in January. We have our kickoff event for Birmingham AI. We are not having a marketing event. Our next one will be in February. We are going to work on automation tools, probably in 8N. It's going to be the big topic. We're going to teach you how to build it on your own, how to work it on your own, and we'll give you some good ones to walk away with the JSON too, if you want to get real technical on the side. Because God knows we might be able to just think about them by the time we get to February and make it on its own, the way some of these Claude code things are going. And then we're going to have some more all through the next year, and then we're going to have a big summer party with us and probably the sales team. So we've got a lot coming up. Does anybody have any final questions before we all run back to the office and check the 17 emails that we all have? Oh, Mr. Simpson has something. I'm sorry.
What?
Hey, everybody
Austin has something
nice
to say?
to Mr. Simpson. Okay, say hi, Austin.
Oh, hi. Yeah, do I need all this?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to say thank you all for being here. We started this about 2.5 years ago, and like 50 people showed up for lunch one day, and we just kept doing it. And so there are people that come up here, and I know you see the people that are up here as experts. We certainly know a few things, but this is very much a community event. And so we're here to serve you guys. So we're just interested in what you want to hear about, what matters to you, okay? The goal is to have more people in Birmingham just turned on to what's going on. Nobody should be surprised when the world starts changing around them. Okay, we want you to feel like you have a lot of agency in what's happening. That you're participants, you know. So just thank you. We've never really marketed this event. It's all been word of mouth, and that's because we have great people up here sharing valuable things. So please go out and tell your friends, and maybe come back next time and bring a friend. And just thank you all for being here.